And this is the astrological forecast for the sign of Cancer for the whole of 2020. Now I'm doing this for a year and I'm doing this for a whole sun sign. So of course it's generic and I'll do my best to cover each individual birthday, but there's bound to be some people I miss out, not because I'm ignoring them, but because there's nothing particularly happening. However, having said that, Cancer is easily one of the most active signs of the zodiac over this coming year, and many Cancerians are going to be very strongly affected. So, first of all, let's deal with something that's highly unusual. So unusual, I've never seen it before. Every year we get a new moon and a full moon in each sign of the zodiac, on average. Rarely we get two new moons or two full moons in a sign, sort of once every 20 odd years or something. In 2020 we have two full moons in Cancer and also two new moons. How weird is that? We get the full moon on the 10th of January. Now this is an eclipse. It's a pretty strong eclipse as well. It's 2 days before the Saturn-Pluto conjunction, and it's a pretty strong one. It's not a total eclipse, but it's strong enough to be noticeable. And this is particularly going to affect those people born around the 11th and 12th of July in a way that's, well, if you're one of those people born from the 11th to the 14th of July, then mid-January is going to be affecting you anyway. Nevertheless, I do anticipate the period around the second week of January, partially because of this full moon eclipse, also for other reasons as well, to be a time of intensity for the whole world, not just Cancerians, but particularly those born from the 11th to the 14th of July. There is also a full moon at the very end of the year. On the 30th of December, there's a full moon in Cancer at 8, nearly 9 degrees of Cancer, particularly amplifying and influencing those people born around the 29th, 30th of June, 1st of July. Now this full moon is sextile Uranus, so this is quite a positive one, but that's not until the very last couple of days of the year. In fact, 1 year from the day I'm recording this. There's also two new moons in Cancer. There is a total eclipse of the sun on the 21st of June, immediately after the solstice. This is taking place at 0 degrees 20 minutes of Cancer. So this is happening about 8 hours after the sun has moved into Cancer on the 21st of June. It is in conjunct Saturn. Now this is a total eclipse of the sun in conjunct Saturn. So this points to a number of Cancerians, especially those born around the 20th, 21st, 22nd of June, as having a few issues with legal matters or authorities, father, teacher, God, employer, any form of imposed discipline. There's likely to be a degree of conflict around this eclipse time, especially for those people born in the first couple of days of Cancer. There is also a new moon on the 20th of July in Cancer at 28.5 degrees of Cancer. Now this is exactly opposite Saturn. So we have two new moons, one at the start of Cancer, one at the end. The one at the start is a total eclipse. Both of them are making really difficult aspects to Saturn. So what this tells me is that Cancerians, particularly during the time of Cancer in the sky, i.e. from the summer solstice or in the northern hemisphere, 20th, 21st of June, through to about the 22nd of July, this is seen as quite a challenging time for dealing with people in positions of responsibility and authority. There's a couple of minor points I just want to get it out of the way. Mercury will move into Cancer on the 28th of May, and then it will go retrograde on the 18th of June, staying in Cancer, and then standing still and moving forward on the 12th of July before finally leaving Cancer on the 5th of August. Now, what this suggests to me is that those Cancerians born on or before the 6th of July, then I have to say that this is not a good time for you to be making informed decisions, and that the period from the 28th of May through to about the 12th of July is a time where you're going to get the wrong end of the stick. So this is not a good sign for signing contracts or buying a new car or moving house or making major travel plan changes. From the 12th of July onwards, things should start working out a bit better for you. And certainly by early August, you'll be able to say, this is what I think, this is what I feel, this is what the money says. Let's make an informed decision. Venus moves into Cancer on the 7th of August and leaves on the 6th of September. Mars isn't going to be in Cancer over the coming year. But there's a lot of planets in Capricorn. Let's deal with the two that aren't first of all. Uranus is going to be smiling on some Cancerians. Those Cancerians born between the 24th and the 28th of June, well, the first 2 or 3 months of 2020 actually look very auspicious for you. There seems to be windows of opportunity that have been going on over the last year, and that's coming to a conclusion in the first 2 or 3 months of 2020. So chances will abide, if you're born between the 24th and the 28th of June, in the first 2 or 3 months of the year, please take them. After this, Uranus then begins to smile on those people born from the 28th of June through to the 1st of July. And these are the people who will see windows of opportunity for sudden changes in a really positive way. A chance to reinvent oneself in a way that's innovative, original, exciting and fun, hopefully. Neptune is also going to be smiling on those Cancerians born around the 10th, 11th, 12th of July over 2020. It's going to be bringing a much greater capacity for imagination, intuition, instinct, gut instinct, and your relationship with spirit, with the divine, however you choose to see the divine as being, is seemingly in a much better space if you're one of these people. These are the people born 10, 11, 12 July. Excellent time for you. Saturn is in Capricorn, and over the period of the first 6 weeks of the new year, Saturn's going to be opposite the Sun of those people born from the 13th through to the 17th of July. And if you're one of these, then the first 6 weeks of the year is not an easy time for you. It is a time of pruning and weeding and streamlining. After this, from the mid-end February onwards, those people born from the 18th through to the 22nd of July, yes, Saturn's opposite your Sun most of the year. So this is not a time of growth and expansion. It is a time of nose to the grindstone, disciplined, hard, bloody work, doing everything the hard way, 3 steps forward, 2 steps back, no shortcuts, knowing that if you do this, you will put in place roots and foundations for the long-term future. Whereas if you try and take shortcuts, you'll end up with very little to show for yourself. Pluto is also going to be opposite the Sun of those Cancerians born around the 14th, 15th, 16th of July, and this is an all-year effect. So these people can also expect a degree of, well, intensity at least. In certain cases, borderline compulsive and obsessive behavioural patterns. And you are advised that you may find that there's a degree of subversive or coercive behaviour happening behind the scenes. I loathe to say watch your back, but it may be appropriate for those people born, as I say, around the 14th, 15th, 16th of July. Don't take things, people or situations at face value. Go to the depths, and only if the depths are right will everything else be right. Jupiter will be opposite the Sun of those Cancerians born from the 28th of June through to the 9th of July in the first couple of months of the year. And this is a one-off situation where you may find it's very easy to put on weight rather than lose it. a one-off situation. Nevertheless, watch out for overindulgence. However, those Cancerians born from the 9th to the 20th of July, Jupiter will then be opposite your Sun from March through to November, and it would be very easy for you to let situations get out of proportion, to bite off more than you can chew, to over-exaggerate or over-amplify situations and make them far worse than they actually are. It's not that easy a year. It's going to be so much easier in 2021. And I'm a Cancerian, so believe me, I know on this. There are going to be one or two crunch points later in the year. Most notably, the time around the middle 2 weeks of August and the first 2 or 3 weeks of October. It shouldn't affect you directly, but you're going to be aware that things are going on in the world around you. This is not a particularly easy year. It's particularly challenging for those of you born in the last 10 days of Cancer, from about, say, the 10th onwards. That whilst those of you born in June seem to be having a more easygoing and beneficial time. But for all of you, yeah, it's a difficult year. And it will be a hell of a lot better in 2021. Meantime, big thank you to all those Cancerians who have helped me in this last year, putting on gigs, tours, lectures, workshops. Thank you. And a big thank you for all the donations, because without the donations, I wouldn't be able to keep the free astrology going the way I do. Thank you. This is my 10th year on YouTube, and it's people like you who keep people like me going. So, thank you, and Happy New Year.